Hi, I'm here to talk about Anna and Elsa's parents from Once Upon a Time, and I really like Anna and Elsa's parents and wish that they had gotten bigger roles in the first Frozen films. I feel glad they were able to appear in Once Upon a Time. The father doesn't really have that big of a role, though. It actually feels smaller than the role he got in the first Frozen film, but the mother actually has a really big role to play, so it feels somewhat similar to Frozen 2, where the mother's backstory is really given a lot of focus. So that's interesting, and I love that how close Anna Elsa's parents' costumes, how much they looked like the costumes from the original film, and they weren't in the first film for very long. So having that detailed, it really means a lot to me. I love that it looks as accurate as it does, and I love that pretty obscure characters at the time got to be adapted. Because I think Anna and Elsa's parents are bigger deals now that they've had bigger roles in Frozen 2, but they were pretty obscure in the first Frozen film. And in the second Frozen film, both uh, the parents got a lot to do, although the mother got more to do. And that's really the case in Once Upon a Time for the mother, while the father, basically, his role feels like a cameo, but it's still good to see him. And the mother ends up being very important to the backstory and what's going on, and a lot of information is given importance. So that stuff's really interesting. I like what's done there, and it helps really flesh out the mother, makes her feel more like a character, which is also what Frozen 2 did. And what Once Upon a Time did and Frozen 2 did with Anna and Elsa's mother, it's different, but I feel like there are some similarities. It's pretty interesting. And for the parents, having different names for the parents, that was kind of odd, but it's understandable why it happened because in the first Frozen film, Agnar and Iduna, they're not referred to as Agnar and Iduna in the film. They're just the parents. They don't really have names that are said by the characters. And then Frozen 2, that's cleared up by having their names be said. So it's understandable why there would be different names. It's just kind of awkward in that sense because Once Upon a Time's adaptations of the Frozen characters were so close, but it's very understandable why they wouldn't know the names since they're not actually said by the characters in the first film. So it's perfectly understandable, and I like getting to see Anna and Elsa's parents. I wish I got to see a little bit more of the dad, but it's understandable because of what they had for the story, and I like what they did with the parents. You can let me know what you think of the parents in Once Upon a Time in the comments.